Sitting down to a nice meal with friends and family is great. That is, until you realize you've gotten food poisoning from your meal. Sometimes it's because your food was undercooked, but other foods can cause food poisoning no matter how they're cooked, which can make them very dangerous to eat. In this video, we're going to take a look at these foods so you can avoid getting sick. Make sure to watch till the end of the video. The last food item on this list can kill you within seconds. Facts First presents 22 dangerous foods that can kill you, food poisoning. If you like to eat food, click the like button, and be sure to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to stay up to date with all our videos. Sprouts. Sprouts are good for you. They're very high in protein, vitamins, and minerals. The problem is that eating sprouts puts you at high risk of getting food poisoning. The threat is so severe that most doctors recommend you avoid eating them altogether. Unpasteurized dairy. Most people know that organic food is better than processed food. This is true with all food except for milk. It isn't healthy to go outside, milk a cow, and drink the milk. Unpasteurized milk can contain E. coli, listeria, and salmonella. Rather than worrying about one or all of these things getting you sick, you should only drink pasteurized milk. Beef. Beef is one of the foods that are completely safe if cooked properly, but if it isn't, you can get very sick. Steak is considered safe with a little pink inside, but experts say that it's not worth taking the chance. According to the FDA, you should cook your steak to 145 degrees for it to be safe. For ground beef, you should cook it to 160 degrees. Eating raw or undercooked meat can result in E. coli. Fish. There's a reason why people eat fish when they visit the coastal areas. It's because if fish isn't stored at the right temperature, you could get scombroid poisoning. If the fish that you eat ate something with ciguatera, you could get ciguatera fish poisoning. Both of these types of poisoning are scary and hard to get rid of. If you're going to eat fish, make sure you're getting it from a reputable place that stores the fish properly. Chicken. Chicken can be a very dangerous food. If you don't cook it enough, you can get salmonella poisoning, and you'll end up in the hospital. Preparing the entire meal that includes chicken can also be dangerous if you aren't careful. Cross-contamination from dishes, silverware, and even your hands can transfer the salmonella to the other dishes that you are preparing. If you're cooking chicken, cook it thoroughly and be careful. Eggs. Eggs are great. They are really healthy, they come in serving-sized portions, and they can be prepared in a variety of ways. The problem with eggs is that, like the chickens they come from, if you aren't careful, you can get salmonella. As long as you are careful during the preparation and you don't eat them raw like Sylvester Stallone did in Rocky, you can eat them safely. Shellfish. Even if you don't have a shellfish allergy, eating it can be dangerous. Shellfish often eat things that are poisonous to humans, which means that eating the shellfish could poison you. There are 4 ways you can get poisoned by shellfish: amnestic, diarrheal, neurotoxic, and paralytic. Each of these sounds really bad, so just make sure you cook your shellfish thoroughly. Deli meats. Ready-to-eat deli meats can be dangerous if they aren't handled properly. Eating deli meats puts you at a risk for an illness called listeriosis. Most people have high immunity to the illness, and pregnant women and the elderly are especially susceptible. The symptoms can take a month to show up, and it can make you really sick. The best way to keep from getting sick from eating deli meats is to heat up the meat before you eat it. Berries. Berries are great. They're loaded with vitamins and nutrients, and they're the perfect snack. Unfortunately, bugs like berries as much as people do. This means that they need to be sprayed with insecticide to keep the bugs from destroying the crop. The pesticide can get into the many crevices on the berries, so if you don't wash them properly, you can get sick. Mushrooms. People either love mushrooms or they hate them. The problem with mushrooms is that they can make you sick. Most wild mushrooms are poisonous. Even the mushrooms you buy in the store can make you sick. The gastrointestinal issues can begin before you even leave the table. If you're going to eat mushrooms, buy them from the supermarket and make sure they're fresh. Tuna. We already mentioned fish on this list, but tuna needs to be in a category of its own. You can buy tuna in many ways. It can be fresh, canned, or in a bag. It's the most eaten type of fish and the most convenient to eat. The problem with fish is that if it isn't stored above 60 degrees Fahrenheit, it can create a toxin called scombrotoxin. This cannot be destroyed by cooking. Rice. Rice is a staple in most homes. You can prepare it as a side dish or include it in your main dish recipe. The problem with rice isn't cooking it properly. The problem is with the leftovers. If you leave the rice out at room temperature for too long, bacteria can grow, which can make you very sick. Melons. We already mentioned that fruit could be dangerous due to the pesticide. Melons have a thick rind, which you would think would protect the fruit from the pesticide. This isn't true. If you don't wash the melon thoroughly, the chemicals on the outside can be pushed into the fruit, making you sick. Cheese. Cheese is a bizarre food. Some cheeses get better with age. What you need to watch out for is bacteria on the cheese, particularly on soft cheese. This bacteria can make you sick, so make sure you store the cheese properly and eat it at your own risk. Leafy greens. Leafy greens like kale and collard greens are good for you. According to the CDC, they're also one of the foods that will most likely give you food poisoning. This often occurs due to improper handling. To keep yourself and your family safe, make sure you clean them thoroughly before eating them. Tomatoes. Tomatoes are really good for you as long as you wash them thoroughly before eating them. Tomatoes can contain pesticides and even animal feces, which can make you sick. If you don't want to have an upset stomach after eating tomatoes, be sure to wash them thoroughly. Potatoes. Potatoes are great and are a staple in most homes. Before eating your potatoes, make sure you wash them thoroughly. The skin could contain Listeria, Shigella, E. coli, and Salmonella. Just be safe when preparing your potatoes. Even if you're peeling them, they should still be washed. The peeler can push the bacteria into the potato. Ice cream. Ice cream is usually safe, but there have been issues with it. In 1994, 224,000 people got sick with salmonella after eating ice cream. If you're going to eat ice cream, make sure you buy it from a reputable source and you store it properly when you get home. Peanut butter. Peanut butter is great, and it can be used a number of ways. Unfortunately, you can't always trust your peanut butter. In 2012, hundreds of peanut butter products were recalled after 42 people in 20 states got salmonella poisoning. It was soon discovered that the peanut butter came from a plant in New Mexico. In 2008 and then in 2009, 700 more people got sick. Sunflower seeds. Nuts are really good for you, and they're a convenient snack. In 2016, 196 recalls were issued for nuts due to Listeria. Of them, 50 types of sunflower seeds were recalled. It's hard to know whether the seeds will be healthy or not, so you are eating them at your own risk. Avocados. Avocados are really good, as they're loaded with healthy fats. But over the last 8 years, there have been several recalls for avocados. It isn't just raw avocados. Frozen and smashed avocados can also be dangerous to your health. To make matters worse, over 8,200 cases of guacamole have been recalled over the past 4 years. Raw water. You may be surprised, but water is one of the most dangerous substances to consume. You should only drink water that has been cleaned and purified. Water in ponds or even in moving streams can be very dangerous. It can be loaded with bacteria and animal feces. Drinking raw water straight from the source can be very dangerous, even killing you within seconds. That wraps up our list. Now we'd like to hear from you. Have you had food poisoning before? Yes or no? Let us know in the comments. And if you learned something from this video, click the like button and subscribe to Factsverse for more videos.